Okay, guys, this video is going to be on the pattern tool. It's very simple and very fun. Okay, some shoes in your designs you might have perforations, a mesh, some type of camouflage. Okay, I'm going to show you a really quick way to make a pattern. I'm just going to use the polygon tool here. This is pretty cool. I'm just going to zoom in on this white area of the screen. I'm going to click once. Yeah, six-sided. That's pretty cool. If you wanted to, you can make it 8-side or star shapes, whatever. But 6 is okay for me. I'm just going to have a blue outline and make my stroke thicker. I'm going to shrink this down. Hold Shift. Now, my Illustrator, I don't know if you guys have this, but my Illustrator incrementally changes the stroke thickness to how I proportionally scale it. When I go to Illustrator and Preferences, guys, and go General, there's this feature that says Scale Strokes and Effects. If you click that on, it will proportionally scale the actual size of the stroke. Yeah, Jason, quick question? Yeah, so under the stroke tool, you can do it manually. I personally like this feature, Preferences, General, and Stroke Effects. Now, if you want to change it manually, you'll go into your stroke tool. If you can't find it, go to Window and Stroke. Everything's in alpha order. And then Services Weights, you can click and pick a point size, or you can numerically type in what thickness you want. Okay? Let's make that 0.1. All right. You guys ready for this? This is going to be really cool. Window and Pattern Options. Okay. Have that selected. There's this little box here you're going to click on. I'll show you right there. Make a pattern. All right. Let's have fun. So if you're looking for some cool kind of mesh or type of fabric that you want to apply to a shape, this is how you do. Now, if you click on this option here, the Pattern Tile tool, you can pick and choose the scale of your pattern and how gapped out it is between each other. Okay? You can play with how many pieces you want. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say save a copy. I like this pattern. And give it a name. I'm going to say hex grid 1. As I'm doing this, I can play with the parameters again, and maybe I'll have a different version. Save a copy. Hex grid 2. Now, I don't even notice this, but on this side right here, I'm actually having samples of my pattern being saved, and I can apply this. Okay. If I wanted to, I can select a color and say, hey, I want this one to be black, for example. Actually, I gotta click the object first and then select black. And I'll call this one. Now I'll do a little change on the parameters. Okay. That looks kind of funky too. I like that. Hex grid 3. Anyways, play with this, make different patterns because you might change your mind. When you're done, say you're done. And you're probably wondering, all that work and nothing, sir. You suck. What'd you do? I'm setting up for myself for later. So, for example, let me just grab this pattern blend shape out of here. If I get my pen tool and let me just hide the mid, I'll make a new layer and I'll put it below. All right, I'm going to create a shape here. Click and drag. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pretend I know what the rest of the design look like. Doesn't really matter until it gets exposed. All right, so I have this shape. Okay. Check it out. I'm going to click on my pattern. Oops, Command Z. Make sure that the fill color is on top. And as you can tell, I just added that pattern to that area. Now, I'm going to introduce that over there. Little trick, guys. If you don't want it transparent, Command C, copy that shape, and then Command F and put in place. Give this a color. Say you want this red. Okay. I'll right click and say send this to the back, and then my mesh is on top. Now if I click this mesh area, you guys see that it's only on top of that fabric. If I want to, I can play and see what it will look like with different shapes inside. And that's your pattern tool, guys. Can you do this to anything? Yeah. If I wanted to, not saying I would, but you can say this. Go to your pattern tool. Make this a pattern. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's amazing. If you play with the shape too, it plays with it as well. Oh, buddy, this is amazing. Save a copy. I'm going to call this puke. And I'm done. So if I wanted the puke pattern to be on this shape here, yes. Now, if I double click on this, I can go in and I can scale it. So if I wanted to play with the parameters, so it's like way smaller. Yeah, then. Yeah, anyways. And I'm done. It'll automatically update that shape with the new pattern. So I would start patterns very, very small, and you can always adjust them afterwards to be bigger. Okay? So that's your lesson on the pattern tool, guys. And I'm signing off.